Hi, most of you know me as the guy behind the video camera over there. So, hi. I want to just give a quick little intro. What is the indie web and why it's important? Does the thought of using Facebook for the rest of your life make you uncomfortable? Yeah, okay. And what happens to all of your content when these services shut down? These are some pretty old ones, and I'm sure some of you recognize them. And then, these are some newer ones, more recent ones that have shut down. And it's sad, and it's really it's no fun when we lose all this work we put into the content on these websites. But even before services shut down, they often start limiting what you can do. Recently, Twitter, well, actually a while ago, Twitter started locking down on what developers can do with the API, and that killed all the fun apps that were out there. And more recently, Instagram started locking down their API as well, and now you have to be approved and go through an application process before you can even make an app now, which is really, really unfortunate. But the good news is there's lots of possibilities for ways we can still get around this, and that is what the indie web is all about. You can join somebody else's pod or server or whatever they like to call them. Mastodon is a recent one that popped up. Diaspora, I'm sure some of you know from several years ago. You can join one that has a revenue model, which means it hopefully has a better chance of sticking around in the long term. I'm actually really optimistic about Micro.blog because not only do they actually charge people, which means they are making money and they're not going to try to sell you ads, they also are working with open standards and interoperating with other software. You can host your own website. You can use WordPress, known as the out-of-the-box CMS, and you can use a static site generator. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? But if you really want to go into get really involved in the way your site looks, you can build something from scratch, which is what I do. This is my website. These are check-ins on my website. I recently got my Foursquare check-ins finally over to my website, so I don't have to worry about Foursquare going down now. These are my replies when I'm talking to people on Twitter or across other websites. And I also have all my bike rides on my website, so that's pretty fun. But the really cool thing is that it doesn't matter what software you use, you can still talk to anybody online. And this is an example of I wrote a comment in reply to one of Barnaby's posts, and he wrote his own software as well, and it shows up under his post like you would see on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And these are two totally different code bases, two different projects, but we can still have a conversation online without anybody in between. The people that do this and the websites, that's the indie web, and it's a globally distributed community online all the time. We have an IRC and Slack channel, and then we meet up in person every 2 to 4 weeks for Homebrew Website Club, which is a pretty informal gathering, and there's dozens of cities all over the world that meet up every 2 to 4 weeks. And in less than a month, we are all converging in Portland for Indie Web Summit. And this is the sort of flagship event. And it's a chance to show what we all have working on each other's websites, ask questions, help each other out, and hopefully make it easier for everybody to have their own presence online and own their identity. So if this is interesting, I should mention some of the Indie Web principles. We're very, very focused on build things for yourself, make something that works for you, because if you're not going to use it, then nobody else probably will either. UX and design are more important than protocols and code. We make sure that everything is focused and done because of some reason that it's visible. Modularity, we are a big fan of small pieces working together, and plurality of projects. It's way better when there's dozens of pieces of software working together rather than one project that tries to win the whole battle of being decentralized. Right? So you can read all these and more at indieweb.org. In 1 week, next week, this is our monthly Portland meetup at DreamHost Portland. Who knew they had an office in Portland? Right? I thought that was pretty cool. And Indie Web Summit is the later next month. Hopefully, some of you will be able to make it. I made a discount code. If you go there, it will be if you register today or tomorrow. The code is donuts, and that will give you a free ticket. If you have your own website, you can reply, just write a post and say you're going, and that also makes it free. And if you have any more questions, please come and talk to me. And we also have IRC in Slack, and around the clock, every time zone is covered pretty much, indieWeb.org/discuss. So thank you very much.